Approximately 20% of global CO2 emissions is attributable to manufacturing industry. The products sold by these companies have a climate impact through the whole equipment lifecycle. This is referred to as downstream Scope 3 emissions. Estimating these emissions, however, is difficult, especially for products that are heavily individualized and their usage vastly differs across customers. Moreover, to be actionable, the footprint estimates also needs to be easy to understand. Only then can the market forces be put into play and sustainability can become a competitive edge. Let's see how configure price quote and lifecycle assessment software can achieve this, empowering buyers and sellers to minimize Scope 3 emissions of a B2B manufacturing product, an elevator. Lisa leads the procurement team of the Chicago Waterfront Hotel looking for a new lobby elevator. In order to be certified as a green hotel, they need to measure and report the environmental impact of all materials and activities in the hotel, including elevators. Some elevator vendors already offer life cycle assessment and environmental product declarations, but all of them are using default averages on whole product lines not applicable to Lisa's specific requirements and assumed usage. In addition, these reports are cumbersome and costly to produce for the elevator vendors. Instead, Lisa turns to Parker Lifts, which configures and offers all their elevators through their CPQ software. Together with her sales rep, Patrick Morris, Lisa inputs her requirements into the configurator, which then generates a valid technical solution, including customer net prices, CAD drawings, sales bill of material, total cost of ownerships, quote documents, and more. The configurator ensures that the elevator meets the customer requirements, is compliant with elevator regulations, and is buildable by Parker Lift supply chain and factories, without the involvement of sales engineering. But Lisa's answers also drive the assessment of the elevator's footprint. Via integration to an LCA system, the CO2 emissions for the elevator is instantly made available to both seller and buyer after every configurator selection. Lisa manages to reduce the footprint by selecting recyclable materials and a more energy-efficient motor. Since the usage of the elevator, through its expected 25 years life length, is the biggest footprint contributor, selecting energy-efficient solutions will make the most overall difference. The footprint calculations take the location of the installation site into consideration, both in terms of electricity mix and transport distances from the factory. Since usage is the major contributor, it's important not to oversize the max capacity and required load. The configurator allows Lisa to upload log files from the existing elevator that correctly describes how people move in the building. In this way, oversizing is avoided. By adding a smart maintenance and modernization service, Lisa is able to increase the estimated life length of the elevator from 25 to 50 years, thereby reducing its climate impact even more. This increases the price somewhat, but since the elevator now becomes eligible for environmental subsidies through the US Inflation Reduction Act, the investment cost for Lisa turns out the same. In addition to footprint assessments, Lisa is also able to track the price and total cost of ownership, empowering her to balance different aspects of this complex investment, making an informed business decision. At any point, she can download a climate report for her individualized solution and usage. This helps Lisa's procurement team to compare offerings from different vendors, even early in the buying journey. Based on the depth and accuracy of the data provided in the sales process, Lisa and her team decides to go with Parker Lifts. Through Parker Lifts' internal sustainability programs, key roles get incentivized if they sell products with less impact. As the Chicago waterfront deal closes, the sales rep Patrick realizes that he just reached his emission reduction quota this year, triggering his yearly bonus. Lisa is very happy with the installed lobby elevator. Thanks to IoT sensors, she can keep track of its performance, predict breakdowns before they appear, and order spare parts and service. In the customer portal, she can also track the energy consumption and match that to the estimates she received during the buying journey. If they deviate too much, Parker Lift's service staff will be dispatched to the hotel to optimize the elevator. At any time, she can export the actual footprint generated by the elevator, all the way back from its inception. The automated and digitalized footprint assessment is beneficial also to Parker Lift's product development team. They can now better identify climate hotspots and compare configured solutions already in the product design phase. Thanks to the thousands of configurations made by their customers in the CPQ every year, both in won and lost deals, they can also better match customer requirements with capabilities in the portfolio, including acceptable price points for sustainable solutions. This provides invaluable intelligence in product design. And once new sustainable solutions and materials have been developed in the PLM and the LCA system, they are easily released to the CPQ, for instance, via Tacton's data import automation. In this way, the product development team can globally govern which products are offered to the market, and the sales reps can rest assured that they are selling the latest and greatest environmentally sustainable solutions. Even ongoing deals are automatically updated, radically reducing time to market for sustainable features, for both direct sales, resellers, and self-service channels. Based on these recent elevator product releases, renewal scenarios can be automatically calculated, guiding Lisa on when there is a case to modernize the elevator or eventually buy a completely new one. Although only 5 years have passed since the elevator was installed, modernizing core parts of it, such as the engine, will have a clear effect on the annual footprint. A completely new elevator installation, on the other hand, will not yet have the same effect. Automating lifecycle assessment in the sales process rather than in the product development means more accurate, more individualized, scalable and faster footprint estimates at a low cost. Of course, that data is also available for Scope 3 ESG reporting, radically reducing Parker Lift's compliance costs. We've seen how these business values can be created for an elevator vendor, but the story can be applied to any complex B2B manufacturing product. Both manufacturing companies and their customers are winners in this story, enabling them to make sustainable business decisions in buying, selling, and product design. The biggest winner, however, is the planet, with more sustainable and optimized manufacturing equipment operating around the world.